It's a study in contrast. While Pakistan exports violence to push its agenda, India has found strength in the religion of peace. Buddhism has proved to be a powerful tool to connect with the neighborhood. Prime Minister Narendra Modi made the first moves in this direction when he visited Sri Lanka last year. On the occasion of Buddha Purnima, or the birth anniversary of Lord Buddha today, New Delhi is taking the next steps in its Buddhism diplomacy, an idea that finds resonance in East and Southeast Asia.
The world is celebrating the birth of Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. To mark this auspicious day, the Indian government has sent most revered relics from Sarnath to Buddhist-majority Sri Lanka for a public display. This is the second time that the Indian government has taken an initiative to exhibit sacred relics of Lord Buddha in Sri Lanka. The first such step was taken back in 2012. The move highlights the shared Buddhist heritage of India and Sri Lanka and the spiritual bond between the two countries. In his monthly address, Prime Minister Modi said that his government is taking measures to develop infrastructure for Buddhist tourism. This will connect Southeast Asia to the important Buddhist sites in the country.
हम बुद्धिस्ट टूरिज्म के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विकसित कर रहे हैं जो दक्षिण पूर्व एशिया के महत्वपूर्ण स्थानों को भारत के खास बौद्ध स्थलों के साथ जोड़ता है। मुझे इस बात की भी अत्यंत प्रसन्नता है कि भारत सरकार कई बौद्ध मंदिरों के पुनरुद्धार कार्यों में भागीदार है। इसमें म्यांमार में बागान में सदियों पुराना वैभवशाली आनंदा मंदिर भी सम्मिलित है।
India is home to 7 of the 8 most significant Buddhist sites in the world. Yet, it receives less than 1% of global Buddhist tourism. Prime Minister Modi has been emphasizing on Buddhism as a great link that connects India's Asian neighborhood. Some experts believe that Prime Minister Modi's Buddhist diplomacy is an attempt by India to emerge as a soft power, since the Buddhist faith emphasizes on peaceful coexistence and has a huge presence in Asia. Even though India has a relatively small Buddhist population, it is giving a big boost to Buddhist circuits for a number of reasons. Firstly, for historic reasons, since Buddhism originated in India. Secondly, India has numerous sites of importance for Buddhism such as Bodh Gaya, Sarnath and Nalanda. Another reason is that India has been home to the Dalai Lama and the Tibetan Parliament in exile. Prime Minister Modi has been successfully leveraging these associations with other Buddhist countries, which has an impact on not just cultural diplomacy but foreign policy as well. Bureau Report, WION.
Buddhist outreach has been a key element of Prime Minister Modi's Act East policy. But why did it take India this long to leverage it? Buddhism has its roots in India, and the historic associations give New Delhi unparalleled advantage in tapping neighbors. One of them is China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just returned from an informal summit in Wuhan, as we talked about it earlier. The two countries underscored their cultural ties over centuries, and Buddhism is central to that. China is home to the world's largest Buddhist population. It has been using this to strengthen its relations with Asian neighbors and win more friends. The focus, in fact, has intensified under the current president's leadership. Remember, Xi Jinping was the driving force behind China's first World Buddhist Forum held in 2006. He understood the importance of the Buddhism card back then. India, in a way, is still catching up. But New Delhi, we can tell you, is making up for lost time. Look at these images. This is from the year 2014. In his visit to Japan, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited 2 Buddhist temples. Buddhism is among the most popularly practiced religions in Japan too. India's new path of Buddhist diplomacy could bring it closer to Tokyo, and that will have its gains. Recently, there have been changes in Japan's defense export policies and regulations. There is talk of a new era of cooperation in high-end defense technology and equipment. India could surely benefit from that. Buddhism can help play an important role in keeping Myanmar close as well. Nurturing relations with this neighboring country is also very important for India. Not only does it share a long land border with Myanmar, it also has crucial national security and economic transformation of India's northeastern states, and Myanmar plays an important role there, especially at a time when China is gaining advantage in that country. 89% of the population of Myanmar follows Buddhism. It can be used to strengthen ties between the two countries by culturally engaging with the people of Myanmar. For India to draw Buddhists, it needs to act imaginatively. Tourism will foster ties with the neighbors. India also needs to promote academic and other exchanges on the life and message of Lord Buddha. Nalanda University, the University for Buddhist and Indic Studies in Sanchi, These places need to be developed as the country's premier institutions. And these could be institutions for Buddhist studies. As for tourism, the best way to promote it is by improving connectivity. The government is working on a circuit linking Buddhist sites starting from Lumbini on the Indo-Nepal border to other places of significance to this faith. New Delhi can also carry out a detailed study on facilitating high-end tourism for those who wish to combine pilgrimage with holidaying. Projects like this can also attract investment from outside. Countries in East and Southeast Asia can be asked to come on board to develop this. Not only will this be a diplomatic masterstroke, it will also generate local employment and help revive India's Buddhist heritage. So why is Buddhism such an effective tool of outreach, you may ask? 14 countries in this region have significant Buddhist population. Our next report looks at the trajectory of this religion.
Over 2,000 years ago, he was born as Siddhartha Gautam, a prince by lineage. Born in Lumbini in modern-day Nepal, Siddhartha famously sat in meditation under the Bodhi tree in the town of Bodh Gaya and attained enlightenment. As a fully enlightened Buddha, he attracted followers and founded a Sangha, and spent the rest of his life teaching the dharma he had discovered. Thus started a new way of life, one that was believed to be the answer to end the suffering in this world. But the man responsible for the spread of this new way of life was Emperor Ashoka in 3rd century BC. Ashoka made Buddhism the state religion and encouraged missions to take Buddhism around the kingdom. He sent missionaries to regions now known as Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Laos, Nepal, Bangladesh, Macedonia, Egypt, Syria, Greece, and Malaysia. Once emissaries were sent to spread the religion, there was no stopping it. Emperor Ashoka's son Mahinda spread the religion to modern-day Sri Lanka in 3rd century BC. In Nepal, where Gautam Buddha was born, a majority of people identify themselves as Hindu. However, Buddhist influences are pervasive in most aspects of Nepali culture. The religion spread there after the 3rd Buddhist Council. As missionaries were sent from India during Ashoka's rule, the teachings of Buddha spread to Indonesia in the 3rd century CE. Even to the Malay Peninsula, where several Buddhist monks spread the religion. From there, it spread to Philippines in the 9th century CE. The religion spread to modern-day Thailand in 3rd and 2nd century CE. It is not certain when exactly Buddhism reached China, but when the Silk Road opened in the 2nd century BC, pilgrims began to travel between China and India. In the 3rd and 4th centuries, monks traveled from what is now Pakistan to Japan. This was the first strong introduction to Buddhism that the Japanese people received. Although the uptake of the new religion was slow, it eventually took on as the Seon tradition mixed with Japanese culture. Buddhist scriptures are believed to have reached Tibet as far back as the 2nd century BCE, but Buddhism was more formally introduced in the 7th century CE under King Songtsen Gampo. It was only in the late 8th century CE that Buddhism became the official religion of Tibet. That was the past. Today, the religion has spread far and wide. It is estimated that there are about 500 million practicing Buddhists in the world, with half of them living in China alone, making Buddhism one of the oldest religions that's practiced today. Bureau Report, WION.